Hello everyone, welcome to my channel and this video. Just a quick heads up, this video was originally created in the legacy version, maybe ASP.NET 5 or 6, but the good news is that it can be easily worked upon in ASP.NET 8 or ASP.NET 9. Just follow these steps. The three-step process is: first you create a new project in the latest version that you choose, ASP.NET 8 or 9 in Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code, and just update the NuGet packages from the NuGet package manager, and you can still keep the startup and program file from the GitHub repository, which is the link of it is in the description below, or you can create a single program file using minimal API if you have got experience in that, and that's it. The program is compiled and built, and so let's dive in. Architecture of an app with various microservices and an API gateway. So first of all, this figure one shows an application consisting of three microservices: a customer microservice with a database, and a product microservice with its own database, similarly an order microservice. Okay. And the client app requests the various microservices through an API gateway, which is also a microservice. Now this gateway reroutes all the API endpoints and unifies them under a single domain. So if the customer microservice is deployed on ports 4678, a fictitious port, and a product on, say, another port, say 4789, then the localhost 467i8 for the customer microservice will be rerouted as localhost colon port 4001 slash API slash customer, and for the product it will be the localhost 4789 will be rerouted as localhost colon 4001 slash API slash product, assuming that 4001 being the API gateway port. And as you can see, as I have told in the part 1, which is very essential, please, if you haven't covered the part 1 and if you are new to the microservices, I strongly recommend that you should go through the part 1, which is in the description. And so these microservices are all individually deployed. So now let's switch over to Visual Studio and start building our application. So guys, here I have opened the Visual Studio 2019 community version, and I will click on create a new project, and I'll go for a blank solution and click on next and name this blank solution. This is just a solution, empty solution, where we are going to add the projects for the microservices. So I will name this microservices.webapi and click on create. So my solution is created with 0 projects. You can see that there are no projects. So I am going to add a folder. Now there is a new solution folder, and which I will name as microservices, under which all the microservices will be placed. So microservices. All right. So within this microservices folder, I will right click on this microservices folder that I have created and click on add new project. And on the add a new project template, it is already highlighted on ASP.NET Core Web Applications. I'll click on next and name this project as, let's create the product microservices first. So product dot product dot microservice. Okay, so click on create. And this will be ASP.NET Core 5 platform under .NET Core, and this will be, it is going to be an ASP.NET Core Web API. And let us configure it for HTTPS, or you can just uncheck it if you like. Enable Open API support. Okay. And then let's create. So project will be created for you. Now this product microservice is created for me, which has got a few folders, properties, and then the controllers with just a weather forecast controller, app setting.json program file, startup file, and then weather forecast service. So again, right click on this microservices folder and click on add new project once again. And this time I'm going to add this customer.microservice, or the customer microservice, customer dot. Click on enter. And again, ASP.NET Core Web API, ASP.NET Core 5, which is the latest, configure for HTTPS, enable Open API support, don't enable Docker support, which we are not going to do at the moment. Okay, no authentication is required. So click on create. So it has also created a very quickly customer microservice. So you see how efficient this ID Visual Studio community version has become of over years. So it has just quickly produced a customer microservice and a product microservice. So now I'm going to create the gateway API microservice. So under the solution, the root solution level, I'll click on add a new project once again. And this, click on next and give it a name. Gateway dot web API, and click on create. This time I'm going to create an empty ASP.NET Core empty project, because this project, the gateway web API project, will not contain much code. Okay, so let this be ASP.NET Core empty, as opposed to the ASP.NET Core web API for the actual microservices. Okay, product and the customer microservices. So let's click on create, and it is going to create a gateway.web API, which is outside the microservices folder, and it has got startup program class and app settings.json. So now we need to fill up these microservices with code, product microservice and the customer microservice. Now, if I show everything in this tutorial, the second part, then it will be a very long tutorial. It will amount to 30 minutes or 40 minutes. So I will come back again in the third part, and I will show you how to create the product microservice following a CQRS, which is called command query response segregation principle, using a mediator pattern, and that will be actually helpful in showing the usage of CQRS. Okay, so we'll talk about that later, and thanks for watching.